What is going on, y'all? This is Pay Me in Dividends. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to give you guys an update on some of the reverse splits that are coming up here on December 1st with yieldmax ETFs. The one I'm going to focus on specifically for this video is MSTY or MSTY, which is based off of Strategy's stock. And the reason I want to focus on this one is because I've invested into this ETF in the past. I sold it. I sold my position a few months ago before the ETF price dropped down to what it is now. I sold around $19 or $20 a share. And I made a video about MSTY around a month ago. And then I also made one around that same time about the OT reverse split. So now that we have solidified dates on when these things will split, we can talk more about it. And as you can see here, effective December 1st, December 2nd, and it looks like 3 other ETFs on December 8th, these will do a reverse split. Now you have stock splits where a stock price goes up to, let's say, $1,000 a share, and then it splits 10 for 1, and now each share is worth $100 a share. This is the exact opposite. This is a reverse split, meaning that the share price has decreased so much that it's crossed a certain threshold and they now have to increase the price synthetically pretty much. They're doing a 1 to 10. So, for example, if MSTY is trading at $5 a share or $7 a share on December 1st and they do a 1 to 10 split, it will then be worth $70 a share. And again, the reason they do this is because they have to stay within SEC regulations, New York Stock Exchange regulations, things like that. I'm not going to get too much into the weeds when it comes to the actual regulations or policies, but the net of it is that they are doing a reverse split. And this is crazy, right? Because MSTY was beloved from yieldmax. It was one of the best ETFs for about the first year that it traded. And again, I invested in it for around 11 months, from August of 2024 to August of 2025. And I have just continued to see the implosion, I should say, of this ETF over the past couple months. It is down to $7 a share now. Now, I do want to show you guys the total return because this tells a better picture, because this will include the dividends, whereas the chart is just the share price. So since inception, MSTY is up 90% total return. But again, you're accounting for the dividends in this calculation, which means that you're going to have to reinvest those dividends in order to get that result. Whereas if you're withdrawing those dividends, you'll see that your principal dwindles away very, very quickly, which is something that is important to keep in mind when it comes to these high yield ETFs. Later on, I'm going to show you a couple alternatives that I believe are better long term to sustain your principal while also generating that yield. But just to stay on MSTY for now, let's look at some of the news. All right, so we can see that MicroStrategy, the underlying stock, has been going through some things. There's a lot of rumors out there, some delisting rumors, being removed from the MSCI. Michael Saylor has even responded to this on his Twitter account. All right, so again, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but you do see that there is news out there. JP Morgan sells $134 million of MicroStrategy shares, and this is important because these shares can get liquidated, which causes the price to continue to go down as well. And so it just depends on what is going to go on in the future. But I think Michael Saylor still has a great plan. I believe in Bitcoin long term. I think most people do at this point. So as long as he continues to acquire Bitcoin and uses it as a catalyst to continue pushing forward, I think they'll be good long term. There's just a lot of volatility in the market right now, and they're going to have to deal with not only the volatile price action of Bitcoin, but also the media and also people's opinions and possible regulations coming into play and things like that. And so I think MSTY is tricky because it's based off of a very unique company already. And then it's also 100% synthetic, meaning that they don't hold any of the shares of strategy. And so the price action on this thing can swing all over the place because they're just doing synthetic options. They're paying out an enormous yield, 87% yield, and it's now paid on a weekly basis. So this thing has just become a mess. But there are two alternatives that I think people should look at and are worth talking about. One of them is BLOX, which I do invest into BLOX. And the reason I like this one is because you still get the crypto exposure through a Bitcoin ETF and an Ethereum ETF, as well as other companies in here like Taiwan Semiconductor, Nvidia, Coinbase. And so you get a bit more diversification. You're not reliant on one company and you're still generating that weekly income. The yield is lower than MSTY, but it's a lot more sustainable. It's around 36%. And then you also have BTCI from Neos. They're paying around a 28% yield, and this one is pure Bitcoin. If you look at the holdings, around 16% HODL, 8% IBIT. So you're looking at around 25% of Bitcoin, pure Bitcoin holdings, and then the rest of it is options on Bitcoin futures, pretty much, in order to generate that income. So those are two alternatives right there that don't rely on one single company, but still give you exposure to crypto while generating that income. So you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think about this whole strategy debacle? What do you think about MSTY and all of the other ETFs from yieldmax that are doing reverse splits? What is the future for yieldmax ETFs, the single stock ETFs specifically that rely on synthetic options? You guys let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts on these? I still like Chippy, CHPY from yieldmax. It is very diversified. The share price has increased since inception, and the dividend has been extremely consistent. That weekly payout has been extremely consistent. But again, the issue with these single stock ETFs like MSTY is it's all synthetic options. So that is where the share price is going to get destroyed over time because it's not holding any of the equities. And then on top of that, it's cranking out this extremely high dividend that just is not sustainable long term. All right. So you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think about these yieldmax ETF splits? All right. You guys let me know. I'm genuinely curious to know everybody's thoughts. As always, I appreciate you stopping by the channel, and I will catch you in the next video.